I'm Renee Sims. I'm an author and a coach, and I help women who have discovered their significant other's secret compulsive porn use make sense of their world, heal the emotional pain, and really get to a point where they can live a more balanced and fulfilled life. Writing is one of the tools that partners can use to help process the emotions that they're dealing with after discovery. It really does help get thoughts out of your head, those things that are really swirling around and in some ways keeping you stuck in that situation where you just keep replaying it over and over again. Your brain is really trying to solve the problem. It's trying to make sense of what has happened, but it's really not helpful for you to kind of keep all of that in your mind. And again, prevent you from moving forward as you really need to in this situation. The other thing is that writing can give you a different perspective. It can really help you step out of being in the middle of that terrible situation and really give you an outsider's perspective as you look at the facts. You look at what happened versus trying to deal with the emotions of how could he do that to me, or why wasn't I good enough? It really does bring that new perspective that again can help in a lot of ways, and in one of the ways help you with future decision making. As you can kind of come at this from a different angle and a less emotionally triggered angle, you can really begin to think about the decisions that you need to make and make them from a place of a solid foundation versus an emotional and reactive foundation. So you can engage in writing for this sort of healing tool in a lot of different ways. You can write letters. You can write a letter to your significant other. You do not have to share it with him. You can write it, just get it all off your chest and then burn it, throw it away, tear it up. You can write letters to your past self from the position of what you know today. You can write letters to your future self, again, taking into consideration, who are you today and what is the future that you want to build and step into, and then write a letter to that future self. You can just start writing and write whatever's on your mind. Again, just sort of like a brain dump to kind of get things off of your mind and get them onto paper where you can revisit them later, process them differently. And again, just kind of keep them from playing over and over and over again as your brain tries to work on them. You can write about what you've learned from the situation. In the moment, it's very hard to think that there's any learning that's happening because it's so emotionally devastating, but really there are lessons to be learned. And once you start to process the emotions and start to process just the way that you think about this a little bit differently, you'll see those lessons start to come up, the things that you'll take into the future, as you kind of view things differently, whether it's a relationship, whether it is looking at actions instead of trusting somebody, explicitly just based on their word. There are a lot of different things. You're also learning things about yourself, and some of that might come through in your writing too. You're learning that you are strong, that you can handle difficult things. You're just learning a lot of things that, again, once you get them down on paper and can come back and kind of look at them again or reread them, they'll start to come together and make sense for you. So when you write, it really does put you in a place of control. Your emotions, again, are, coming through in your writing, and you're getting them down on paper and you're getting them out of your mind. And so it puts you in a little bit better control emotionally. It also just improves your overall sense of well-being. There's a lot of pain and there's a lot of unhealthy coping and things that come along with discovery. And so writing is one of the ways that you can really start to take steps to improve that physical and emotional well-being. And then, as I mentioned before, you'll start to see control and strength and different things about yourself. So writing will help you increase resilience, which is very important as you think about, being able to have something like this happen in your life and be able to come back from it, not let it hold you back, not let it tear you down, but be able to handle the things that come your way and move beyond them. So really, you don't need much to get started. Grab a pen and a paper. It's as easy as a notebook, and just get started on any of the ways that I mentioned before, or other things that you feel compelled to do as you're engaging in writing. You can find a nice journal, or something that really kind of makes this aesthetically enjoyable to you. There are a lot of beautiful journals out there, and it might be something that really, again, just kind of gives you a little bit of joy as you engage in this writing process. You can do this on your computer if that's the way that you prefer to write things down. There is, something to be said about putting pen to paper, though. And so there's sort of a little bit of therapeutic release that comes along with that. But if you want to go ahead and do this on your computer, anything that you could do to get those thoughts out of your mind and, into a place, again, where they're not just kind of swirling around and holding you back and not letting you move forward is really the important part. So writing can help you really relieve stress, and it can help you focus on rebuilding happiness in your life. And so you may notice that your writing changes over time. In the early stages, you might be writing about the betrayal and the trauma and the pain and all of those things. And then as you do this, and as you again start to see the things that are developing, the lessons that you're learning, your strength, your resilience, you might see your writing change and move from a place of pain and devastation to a place of hope and thinking about the future and planning for the future and being able to problem solve in the moment and really bring those thoughts together. So if you would like more information or resources, if you are a partner who has discovered secret compulsive porn use in your relationship, I would love to provide that for you. I do have a website where I blog on this topic, and there are a variety of other resources there. You can also schedule time to talk with me. I would love to see if I might be able to help you as well. So feel free to go to my website. It's www.dynamicdeliberateDame.com.